Burusho People Burusho or Burusho, also known as the Hunza people or Batra 3 for live in Hunza, Nagar, Chitral, and in valleys of Gilgit-Baltistan in northern Pakistan 5 as well as in Jammu and Kashmir, India. For 6 all of them are Ismaili Muslims and preserve their ethnic traditions. Their language, Burushalski, has been classified as a language isolate. 7 Although their origins are unknown, it is likely that the Burusho people were indigenous to northwestern India, current-day Pakistan, and were pushed into their present homeland by the movements of the Indo-Aryans, who migrated to the subcontinent in 1800. B.C. Key historical area of Hunza and present northern Pakistan has had, over the centuries, mass migrations, conflicts and resettling of tribes and ethnicities, of which the Dardic-Shina race is the most prominent in regional history. People of the region have recounted their historical traditions down the generations. Historic Hunza hosts four major yet genealogically diverse clans that trace their patrilineal ancestry according to tradition to varying ethnic groups. The Karukuts are said to be related to the communities now settled in the Gohal-Pamir border region. The Burun are said to have migrated up from the Indus region. Iranian and Burata link trace their roots to the Balkan/East European ethnic diaspora. Besides clans, Burusho society is divided into classes, including the Tramo royals, the Wazir family governing the state, Tranka and A Kaberding village leaders, Bear and Sis combat fighters, Baldakunos carriers, and Bariko musicians. An offshoot of Bariko migrated to the Indian state of Jammu and Kashmir. Hunza people are predominantly Shia Muslims of the Nizari-Ismaili tradition. Hunza Kuts and the Hunza region have relatively high literacy compared to most other districts in Pakistan. Hunza is a major tourist attraction in Pakistan, and many domestic and foreign tourists travel there to enjoy its stunning mountain landscape. The district has many modern amenities and is advanced by Asian standards. Citation needed. Local legend states that Hunza may have been associated with the lost kingdom of Shangri-La. The longevity of Hunza people has been noted by some 11 but others refute this as a longevity myth and cite a life expectancy of 110 years for men and 122 for women with a high standard deviation. 12 There is no evidence that Hunza life expectancy is significantly above the average of poor, isolated regions of Pakistan. Claims of health and long life were almost always based solely on the statements by the local Mir king. An author who had significant and sustained contact with Burusho people, John Clark, reported that they were overall unhealthy. 13 Clark and Lorimer reported frequent violence and starvation in Hunza. 14 Popular claims of the Hunza diet have been exposed as pseudoscience, while the mythology surrounding the Hunza people is noble savage stereotyping. Citation needed. Upper Hunza, locally called Gohal, is inhabited by people whose ancestors moved up from proper Hunza to irrigate and defend the borders with China and Afghanistan. They speak a dialect called Wakhai, which is influenced by Burushalski and Amiri languages due to the closeness and contact with these mountain communities. The Shina-speaking people live in the southern Hunza. They have come from Kulaz, Gilgit, and other Shina-speaking areas of Pakistan. Citation needed. Jammu and Kashmir. The Burusho people also reside in the Indian state of Jammu and Kashmir, being mainly concentrated in Lotomalu, as well as in Batramo Valley, which is southeast of Hariparbhat. 4 This Burusho community is descended from 2 former princes of the British Indian princely states of Hunza and Nagar, who with their families, migrated to this region in the 19th century AD. 4 They are known as the Batra by other ethnic groups in the state 4 and practice Shiite Islam. 15 Arranged marriages are customary. 16 Since the partition of India in 1947, the Indian Burusho community have not been in contact with the Pakistani Burusho. 17 The government of India has granted the Burusho community scheduled tribe status, as well as reservation, and therefore, most members of the community are in government jobs. For 15 The Burusho people of India speak Burushalski, also known as Kajuna, and their dialect, known as Jammu and Kashmir Burushalski JKB, has undergone several changes which make it systematically different from other dialects of Burushalski spoken in Pakistan. 15 In addition, many Jammu and Kashmiri Burusho are multilingual, also speaking Kashmiri and Hindustani, as well as Balti and Shina to a lesser extent. 15 Genetics. A variety of Y-DNA haplogroups are seen among certain random samples of people in Hunza. Most frequent among these are ART1A1 and ART2A, which probably originated in either South Asia 18-19, 20-21, 22-23, Central Asia 24-25 or Iran and Caucasus. 26-27 R28, unlike its extremely rare parent R2, R1A1 and other clades of haplogroup R, is now virtually restricted to South Asia. Two other typically South Asian lineages, haplogroup H1 and haplogroup L3 defined by SNP mutation M20, have also been observed from few samples. 28-25 otherwise DNA haplogroups reaching considerable frequencies among the Burusho are haplogroup J2, associated with the spread of agriculture in, and from, the Neolithic Near East. 24-25 and haplogroup C3, of Siberian origin and possibly representing the patrilineage of Genghis Khan. Present at lower frequency are haplogroups So3, an East Eurasian lineage, and Q, P, F, and G. 25 DNA research groups the male ancestry of some of the Hunza inhabitants with speakers of Pamir languages and other mountain communities of various ethnicities, due primarily to the M124 marker defining Y-DNA haplogroup. R28 which is present at high frequency in these populations. 29 However, they have also an East Asian genetic contribution, suggesting that at least some of their ancestry originates north of the Himalayas. 30 While genetic evidence supports a 2% Greek genetic component among the Pashtun ethnic group of South Asia. 31 It does not support any for the Burusho. 32 Influence in the Western world. Healthy living advocate J. I. Rodale wrote a book called The Healthy Hunzas in 1955 that asserted that the Hunzas, noted for their longevity and many centenarians, were long-lived because they consumed healthy organic foods, such as dried apricots and almonds, and had plenty of fresh air and exercise. 33 He often mentioned them in his Prevention magazine as exemplary of the benefits of leading the healthy lifestyle. Since the opening per southeast of the state of Hunza to Pakistan and rest of the world, the diet that almost exclusively consisted of organically grown fruits and vegetables, oils, and seasonings grown in the immediate localities is now dominated by extensive trade with neighboring China and Pakistan. Subsequently, much processed modern and even GMO food products have reached this remote habitation. Some alternative health advocates claim that GMO infiltration may be negatively impacting their life expectancy. Citation needed. Dr. John Clark stayed among the Hunza people for 20 months and in his book Hunza, Lost Kingdom of the Himalayas 34 writes, "I wish also to express my regrets to those travelers whose impressions have been contradicted by my experience. On my first trip through Hunza, I acquired almost all the misconceptions they did, the healthy Hunzas, the democratic court, the land where there are no poor, and the rest, and only long continued living in Hunza revealed the actual situations." Regarding the misconception about Hunza people's health, Clark also writes that most of his patients had malaria, dysentery, worms, trachoma, and other health conditions easily diagnosed and quickly treated. In his first 2 trips he treated 5,684 patients. Furthermore, Clark reports that Hunza do not measure their age solely by calendar, metaphorically speaking, as he also said there were no calendars but also by personal estimation of wisdom, leading to notions of typical lifespans of 120 or greater. The October 1953 issue of National Geographic had an article on the Hunza River Valley that inspired Carl Barks' story Tralala. 35 Renee Taylor wrote several books in the 1960s, treating the Hunza as a long-lived and peaceful people. 36